Hey guys, when's the last time you put on real pants?
Yesterday.
I'm an overachiever over here. Damn.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Because it was cold. Yesterday was it was a little cold here. It was like we're getting close to fall, and I stepped outside and I was like, yo, this is good pants weather. I'm a huge fan of jeans. I know it sounds weird. People always think that they're uncomfortable. I love jeans. If I could wear jeans in the summer and I wouldn't be hot, I would do it because I think jeans are super comfortable. So big team jeans over here. I'm excited for jean and pants weather. So it wasn't that long ago for me, but before that, honestly, before yesterday, probably March. So it's been a little while.
Chris,
Like-
for you,
Like pants, or just like not gym shorts?
not gym shorts or sweatpants. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. It's been probably, not that long, like maybe a week or so, because we had dinner with my parents and I put on real shorts for that.
Okay. All right. See, for me, I haven't put on jeans or pants since before quarantine started. Because, like, you guys know my job. Like, I wear basketball shorts to work unless I'm interviewing somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure my last interview was March, like, I don't know, 8th, 9th, something like that. And that's the last time I wore jeans. So I have no idea because it's sweatpants and basketball shorts every single day. I have not worn. So I'm just wondering what it's going to feel like when I wear jeans again. Did you guys have a prolonged period where you didn't have those on? Because I know you guys have worn them recently and stuff, but like,
Yeah,
so
it
how
felt
did it
weird.
feel?
It did. It felt weird at first. It was just like, whoa. Because, yeah, it's been shorts weather. It's been gym shorts all summer long. So with not going to work, with not really being able to go anywhere, even when I would put on a pair of regular shorts, putting on pants it really did feel strange and felt like fall was creeping up. I'm back in shorts today. It's warm again today. It was literally one day, so it feels good to be in shorts again. But yeah, there's an adjustment period there. Even with my love with jeans, there's a hey, let's get to know each other again before we get all cozy up in our businesses. Are you looking for a reason to put on pants though, Didi? Do you want a reason to put on real pants?
I do kind of want a reason for it, but I also was like, just what's it gonna feel like when I put jeans on again? Like, I'm really wondering this now. It's like, what is it gonna feel like? Because this is a ridiculously long time. Because I saw someone tweet this, just like, oh yeah, I haven't, the first time I wore jeans was this day, and my jeans didn't fit. I'm not worried about my jeans not fitting. I'm just worried about what it's gonna feel like.
Yeah.
Am I just gonna be walking around just like itching, like?
Right.
I have, I'm not
you need to give yourself
restrained in jeans.
You need to give yourself some time. You can't just throw those on before you go out somewhere. Yeah, you need an adjustment period. Whatever you got to do to reacquaint yourself with jeans and pants, especially this year. It's wild.
So with training, like if I take some time off, I'll ease my way back into the intensity that I was training with. Like, Dan, tell us, how do you ease your way back into wearing jeans? What's the progression?
That's fair. My suggestion.
I'm glad you asked.
My suggestion would be the day before, 2 days before, 3 days before. Give yourself enough time, but put on the jeans, but be in a comfortable setting. Like you're just staying at home. Like spend a night in jeans. That's all it is. Spend a day in jeans. Spend a night in jeans, but on the couch, so you're comfortable. The next step would then be like to walk around in the jeans. That's where it really starts to like you catch yourself that you're wearing pants again all the way down. So just reacquaint yourself, give yourself a little bit of time, and you'll be fine.
That's a pretty good answer.
Did you sleep in them?
I didn't. I could have. It just felt that comfortable. It was just like one of those things where it's like, let's pop open the windows and I'll just sleep in jeans. See, I would do that because I'm weird because I have a good relationship with my jeans. I'm excited for jean season. Let's get those pants on. Mask up, pants up. Let's go.
Well, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. If you guys have any tips on what it feels like to wear jeans again, because I don't see myself wearing jeans until like December. There's no reason for me to put them on. I don't know.
Yeah,
so
you got a long wait. Maybe the birth of your new child that's put on some new pants day. Maybe.
Do we need to like schedule a formal podcast episode to help get everybody back into the swing
Maybe.
of things? Like, do we
Maybe.
need to suit up for an episode?
Trying to
We
help
might have
America,
to.
trying to get back. I
Yeah.
don't hate that idea. That's a good conversation piece.
Yes. Let's
Something to
think
think
about that.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the brunch breakdown. I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing jeans. Chris is in Pittsburgh. Are you wearing pants? What are you wearing?
I am in Nike gym shorts.
There you go. And Dan?
I got real shorts on today. I got real shorts on right now.
Oh, real shorts.
Yeah. I got real shorts. I'm in
Nice.
the middle of laundry, so that's why I got to get some real shorts. That's really been the only reason I put on real shorts at all this summer is, hey, we're going to need to catch up on some laundry, so let's put on some pair of real shorts for 4 hours until they're out of the dryer again.
Well, today on the brunch breakdown, outside of us all wearing shorts, we're going to talk a lot of different things. North Dakota is one of them. We're going to talk about changing up a bunch of stuff that with sports. Sports are starting up, so we're going to see how we can change some rules, hopefully for the better, not for the worse. We're going to talk fall, VMAs, and that Blackpink and Selena Gomez ice cream video and what we're listening to. But yo, let's get it started with Get It Off Our Chest. Dan, Yul, Kanop, go.
So what I want to get off my chest this week kind of leans into what we're listening to a little bit later. One of my favorite bands of all time, Paris, who's actually right over my shoulder here with some autographed posters. If you're watching the full video episode on YouTube or Facebook, they had to kick a member out of the band this week, same week as their album release, because unfortunately it fell into the category of just people being creepers and talking to people that you shouldn't be talking to, doing things that you shouldn't be doing. I won't get into the details of the story, but it just blows my mind. In 2020, people think they can get away with being creepers. I don't get it. There are traces and trails everywhere on your phone, on social media. We've seen it happen with celebrities. It's happening with musicians a lot now too. And this isn't just, I mean, the Me Too movement is a big part of this, but it goes even deeper than that, where people think they can get away with things in this day and age. It just blows my mind how you think that you'll never be seen without a trace or be caught or anything like that. There should be far less of these things happening to normal everyday people, to celebrities, to everything like that. It blows my mind. It actually kind of ties in even with just being intelligent with technology and social media in general. We all remember our good friend Manti Te'o, the former Notre Dame linebacker. Didi, you know him well. We remember the catfish. I'll call it an incident, but it was way bigger than that. If you could call an incident an event, it's really what it was. My man got married over the weekend to a real human being. And so shouts to him. But if that wasn't your lesson enough to be careful on the internet and just think and be smart about things, that's really what this is all about. Be smart and use your freaking noggin when you're talking to people, whether it's on the phone, via text, through social media. You will get caught. Bad things, do come out eventually. Karma, I fully believe in. So just be smart and don't be a creeper in 2020 anymore.
Why does that seem to happen, like specifically so much to bands?
It does, right? I don't know. I really don't understand that especially because bands and musicians have a lot of that one-on-one interaction. And maybe that's why it does happen, is because they interact with fans and things like that at shows. They get phone numbers, they connect that way. They don't care what somebody's age is. Maybe that's why. But you're right. It does seem to be happening to bands and musicians that are in bands a lot. And that's happening a lot this year. You're hearing that news come out. Maybe that interaction is what drives a lot of that.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I feel like on a semi-regular basis, I will log on to social media and see like a screenshot of a notes thing from one of my favorite bands that says so-and-so has been kicked out of the band because of allegations. And then you dig deeper and you find out, again, it's people being creepers. You'd like to think that the more this stuff happens, the less it would eventually happen, because like you said, Dan, like your digital footprint is everywhere. I don't know why, like, just because it's a DM and other people can't see it doesn't mean it's not like recorded for history. I don't know. You would hope that this stuff would decrease over time.
No, you would. It's weird that people aren't more careful, of what they do and what they, not that it's, some of the things that people have done, it's like, it's not like it's ever been right. It's just that, like, you would think, because people can see all of this stuff and know about your interactions and your creepiness. And now with everyone home, I feel like it just takes like one little thing, because everyone's at home thinking about things. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to, blast this all out. And now, this person's out of the band, or, maybe their career is in danger because Chris D'Elia, comedian who's been on like 8 million different TV shows. I mean, he's, I never thought once about Chris D'Elia ever doing anything or whatever. But then, all this stuff came out about him after comedy shows and stuff like that, and how he would treat people, and, taking girls who were, questionable ages back to hotel rooms and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I just don't get throwing your whole life away for dumb shit.
Yeah, and maybe it's not happening more, but it's easier for it to be called out and drawn attention to, like, because some stuff isn't, very recent. Some of the stuff is older, whether it's years ago, and it's just easier to spread that stuff through social media. But like you said, Chris, with the fact that how many times these type of news stories keep emerging and keep happening to people, you'd think that would start some sort of decline for people to be like, yo, I gotta watch myself, because whether I'm famous or sort of famous or whatever, the digital footprint is out there everywhere. There's nowhere that you can't be caught. So just hoping that people would, just use your brain, just be smart and realize nobody gets away with this stuff forever. Everything comes out in the end. So be smart, people.
Yes, be smart. Dude, and shouts to Manti Te'o. I had no idea they got married. Shouts to him, man.
Right.
Shout,
that was like I said, that was a big lesson. We have a whole Catfish TV show, and that's still happening. Right. Same thing there. It's just people not using their brain. Use your brain. And congrats to him. Got married to a human being over the weekend.
Wow. Dude, shouts to him. Well, I'm going to get this off my chest. Guys, for the love of God.
Oh, here it is.
I love when these start this way.
Old people, when they post memes on like Facebook and stuff, I get it. I understand it, because they think they're like Facebook news feed or wherever they see on social media. They think that's a newspaper, right? Because they think that there's no way people could lie about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, young people, anybody under the age of 40 who grew up with the internet in high school and, below that, you have no excuse. There's this site called Google.com. It's wild. Every story that like you see in a meme that is like you may think is questionable, or you actually may think is true, you can actually find out if it's true by going to Google.com. Yeah, I thought it was a site that everyone knew about, but I guess it's new. So I'm going to tell you again, Google.com. And you can find out all the stories that the mainstream media won't show you, all the stories that are big headlines that all the memes tell you they aren't. Guys, Google.com. That's it. It will save you all the time. And I can't believe I'm sitting here doing a commercial for a company that's worth like $1 trillion. But I have to do that because people my age and younger are just looking really stupid on the internet. Because I can yell at old people all I want. I can talk about old people, but there's innocence to old people thinking that whatever they read is true. But young people, you know better.
Yes.
Google.com. That is your place to find all the things you need to know. All right?
Dude,
thank you.
Amen. Amen to that. So many people need to take that to heart and take it seriously. It drives me crazy what social media has turned into. And you're right. With old people, it can get like, this is not like, you're not a news reporter. That's not what Facebook is for you to report the news to people because you think that we care. Old people, I get it. Young people, you have got to stop. You have really got to stop it. And social media in general, I'll say this, as somebody who runs a fair amount of social media accounts, from what I see, fortunately, I'm not in a position to receive this a lot, but stop commenting on like news organizations' social media posts. They don't want that. They don't need that. The poor intern or just out of college social media manager running those things, especially doesn't need that. And they're not taking your tweet or your comment up to the higher ups because of some, emotion that you have. It's just so ridiculous. So please, please, I wish all business related things on social media could, there could be no comments. I really wish that was a feature that we could do because it drives me crazy, the arguments that it begins. Like if you're arguing with strangers in comment sections of like national social media posts, see how I like really took this down a tangent down your road here, Didi, but it's just one of those topics that gets me fired up. Just use Google. Just use Google. There it is.
Google.
Well, Twitter just did an update, and now you can actually turn off comments if you want, which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
shouts to Twitter, man.
Yeah, Instagram has done that for a while. Like that's one thing that they have done, and I love that. Because I don't need your comments. No one needs anybody's comments, and I don't need to see your comments when I'm looking at, if I'm on Kylie Jenner's Instagram page, I don't care about your comments. I just don't.
Right.
I don't need to see them.
I love
Chris, get it off your chest.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about how we've had a lot of time on our hands during COVID, and that's been since March. I've had even more time on my hands the last 4 weeks because I was on parental leave since we had the baby. So I had I watched more TV over the last 4 weeks than I think I ever have in another 4-week period of time in my entire life. And I came to a conclusion. It might be potentially controversial, but here we go.
Let's get it.
I've decided that acting is maybe the weirdest profession of all time.
Wow.
Fair.
Stir the pot.
Let me explain. So I mean that in the lens of trying to get into the profession of acting. Because for most of us, we go to college, we learn how to be an expert at a certain skill or something like that, and then we interview for a job in our desired field, and we start working. Sometimes you have to do jobs that you dislike to get to the job that you like, but eventually most of us find our way to something that we enjoy. Now, the key piece here is that we all do that on our own time. Nobody sees the shitty jobs that we do before we get to the job that we like. It's not live on television or live on the internet for everyone to see. Because sitting at home watching TV and specifically watching commercials, I could not help but notice the amount of actors and actresses that like readily volunteered for things like pharmaceutical commercials, Pepto-Bismol diarrhea ads, vaccine commercials, or like other weird and random products like there's that thing that like sucks shit out of your nose so you feel better, with your sinuses. Like as I was watching all of this stuff, I couldn't help but think to myself, these people want to act so bad. Like they want to be actors and actresses so bad, and they want to get screen time so bad that they're willing to sign up for literally everything. I thought to myself, I cannot, like, I don't know that there's anything out there that I would be willing to do a national commercial about diarrhea for. I don't think that anything out there exists. I think it's really, really weird. And that's the big conclusion that I came up with that I had to get off my chest. Acting is just a weird profession.
Okay. I understand you. I hear you. And before moving to Los Angeles, I felt the same way about all of those weird commercials. But just like with anyone else, rent is due on the 1st. and it is not cheap to live here. And people who want to be actors that live in Los Angeles, they got to pay the rent.
Yeah.
So if if Truvada calls, which is a HIV medicine, and you may not have HIV, but you look like whatever they're casting for, you may be in the background, dancing or at brunch with your friends while they read all the horrible things that go on with this drug. Like that's just, I mean, that's what it is. And also those commercials that run over and over again. So when you're watching TV, think about the commercials you see a ton, right? Regardless what it's for, you see a ton. You just see old people walking in the park. They're getting paid every time that commercial runs. And they're getting paid a lot of money when that commercial runs. So, I understand what you mean. But like, once I found out the numbers of those things, I'm like, I get it. I get why you would just, be all right with being in the irritable bowel syndrome commercial.
Like, what I want to know is, because I'm sure the money is very good for, I mean, like I have friends and people that have booked some commercial gigs that have been pretty big. So I know you can get good money off of it, but like that, I would imagine for most of those people, they see that as not only an opportunity for a payday, but also like to take the next step. And that's where I think it's really kind of funny, because I want to know, like, have there been big success stories of people that have done a pharmaceutical commercial that have gone on to great things in their acting?
I'm sure there are.
I want to know who they are.
Yeah, but we got to find them.
Yeah,
there's got to be, because there's a lot of success stories with big actors nowadays that were like kid actors in commercials and things like that, right? But I think those specific ones, I mean, you get in a Pepto commercial with the right jingle, that's going to stick around to the right, ad exec. He's, going to put you out there and get you into the position that you need to get that, daytime TV series, whatever it may be. So Navage, that son of a bitch runs all the time. And that lady, tell you what, that lady who sounds like she didn't use it, she sounds like her nose is still stuffed up. Like, she's going to be on the silver screen one day, and we're going to be sitting here talking about her. I know it.
I hope she is. In that Navage commercial, there's like at one point where the screen, they have like, it's like a Brady Bunch thing, right? Where there's just like a bunch of different squares and like everybody's posing with like a different thing. And there's some people who are in that commercial for legitimately 2 seconds, and it's just a small picture of them. I want to know what each of those people are doing today. I want to know. I have to know.
Hey, let's put this out there. If anybody's got any connections to those people, we will gladly have them on as a guest at the table on a future Brunch Breakdown episode. We would love to have that type of discussion.
1,000%. Oh my gosh. Was there one commercial that made you say, oh my God, I need to, like, was there one commercial, Chris, that you were like,
okay, so there's one for, it's like, is it the HPV vaccine where there's like,
oh my God, where they're yelling at you?
The parents are yelling at it.
The mom
stop.
Yes, that one. The mom has like her son or daughter in front of her, and then she like gets in front and puts her hand on it. She goes, "Not my child," and screams at me. And I'm like, she's acting her heart out right now, but is this going to lead to anything?
Right.
That one is unbelievable. Everybody's so emotional in it. It's fantastic.
Okay, take everything I said away defending actors, because that commercial, no, that lady is actually acting. No, she's like, no, this is her moment. Like, she's trying to win a commercial Oscar. I don't know if this exists.
Mm-hmm.
She's acting her heart out.
She's putting that in her reel. She is, because that can be into any scene in any movie for anything. She went raw emotion there. Those are amazing. I'm glad that was the commercial.
My God. I'm so happy that's it, because every time that commercial comes on, me and Siobhan are like, what the? Oh my God.
It's really
like
aggressive.
It's just so aggressive, and they just come on an all black screen with the white letters. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. Too much.
Yeah. Man, I just didn't know HPV was that serious. I just didn't know. Well, let's move on to a topic that I'm really excited to talk about, because we got a text message to the Brunch Breakdown group message, and Chris said, why do people live in North Dakota? So Chris, I need you to help us with this.
Dude,
Why were you thinking about North Dakota?
This will keep people in your cars.
Yeah. Maybe drive around the block a couple more times. Here we go. I was so like it was kind of a kickoff weekend for football. It was mostly high school football that was being played on ESPN. So occasionally I was flicking back and forth between the games, and one of them at night, it was this high school football game between two teams from North Dakota, and I got like emotional about it because I was just thinking about like kids that are forced to grow up in North Dakota. That just doesn't seem fair. It
Not
doesn't.
my child.
Thank you, Dan. That was perfect.
Yeah, please
but
don't make me name
seriously.
this episode HPV Brunch. I'm very nervous right now. That's the lead. That's the lead right
A
now.
whole new audience there with those keywords.
That's gonna get clicks. What brunch? What's
Yeah.
happening in this episode? Yeah, man. I don't know. I got a little bit pissed because I thought like there are so many cool places to live in this country, and I just feel like kids should kids should grow up around more cool things to do than be in North Dakota. And in fairness, okay, I know somebody somewhere will probably get pissed off because they're passionate about North Dakota. I've never been there. All I've heard is there's nothing there. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But they were showing shots of Bismarck, and it was just like trees. There was nothing happening. There was nothing there. And I don't know. I think we need to do something about it. I think we need to make some, this time of year, talking about different legislation. Maybe we should do something about North Dakota.
Should we move there?
No. Whoa. No. That's the opposite of what I'm getting at.
Get them out of there. Get them out of there. Get some like real cities is what you're saying. I feel you. Trust me, through my story last week, driving through certain areas of Ohio, it probably could have been North Dakota with no cell phone service. Just like, what is out here? Like, why are people growing up here and then being like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. This is cool. I don't think if you had the chance, you got to give kids the chance, right, to experience both sides and then make a decision. But yeah, those areas like South Dakota, Idaho, like, what are you doing out there? We need farmers, we need people that hang out there and do that, but we also need new leaders of a generation, and maybe they're stuck somewhere in a Dakota when they could be living up to real life in the city. I'm all for getting them out, but we need more cities, right? I'm sure Didi doesn't need any more people in Los Angeles.
No, I don't. No, we
so
don't.
I think we need more cities as well. But yeah, get kids out of those lost states. I'm for it there.
No, I'm with you. One thing, North Dakota's always fascinated me. Like because I live in a small state. So like I'm from West Virginia. So like I lived in the small state. And when you look at a map and you'd see these maps with like the population of each state, and it's like North Dakota is so big on a map. It takes up a lot of space on a map. And then like the population size is like 650,000 people. And I'm like, how? There's 2 million people in West Virginia, and it's really small on the map. The North Dakota is really big on the map and has 650,000 people. So that means, do you have neighbors in North Dakota? Like, is your neighbor every 4 miles? Like, how does that work? I don't understand, like, where the people are. Does everybody just have, like, 8 acres of land? You know, and is that what people will say to us when our North Dakotan listeners yell at us? Is because they'll be like, we have all the land, because everybody gets like 8 acres for like $10,000. I don't know.
It's got to be
like
I don't know, but like 650,000 people that's not even. If that were a city, it wouldn't even be like top 25 in the country.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not, dude. Okay, so for context, in Burbank, there are 300,000 people, and that's a suburb of Los Angeles.
That's like a neighborhood.
Yes, yeah. Like that's a neighborhood of Los Angeles, and I'm like, how do you do that? I just there are cities with millions of people in them. I don't. And I'm not even talking about like the biggest cities in the world. I'm just like the biggest city. Like some cities have 1 million people in them.
I want to hear from a North Dakota kid and ask if they have traveled to a major metropolitan city. And I want the feedback. Is there too many people? Is there too much to do? Is that really a problem? Like, what do you do on the weekends there? What are you doing? We're
Like,
watching high school football, apparently, Chris.
yeah, that's the biggest show in town. That's the thing. And like, I get it that some people like to be out. They like
Yes.
to be removed from the hustle and bustle. I get it. But I just feel like,
They should be in one state. We should just rezone. Those people should be in one state.
well, if you like, but we just need to give these kids a chance is what I think we need to do. Okay. So I think there should be some type of rule that, like, if a kid grows up there, they should have to go to college out of state so that they can experience something else before they decide this is where I want to be forever.
So, like, for those type of areas, like the out of state tuition is actually far less.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the opposite as it is for everybody else. It's like, you should go out of state.
Right.
There's an incentive.
That's a good one. There are certain states where I feel like if you grew up there, your out of state tuition should be in state tuition.
Yes.
Because it's like, we want you to leave. Or at least experience it.
We want you to do better.
Back, we want you to do better.
It's kind of like, like the Amish have Rumspringer, where like before you're like to fully indoctrinated, they give you like time to go out and like party and see if you like it. Like that's what these children need.
Yes. That's it. I'm all for that. Yeah, we got to give our future, generations a chance. Get them out there. Get them a taste of, I guess, the real world, and maybe they'll make the best decision. Move on.
North Dakota.
Get out of North Dakota, man.
There needs to be a catchy name like North Dexit or something like that.
Do you know how cold it gets in North Dakota? It's like freezing. You talk about pants weather. When's the last time any of them wore shorts? Ask them that question.
North Dexit. Let's do this. All right. Now, let's get into, speaking of pants. Fall.
Yes.
Fall.
Yeah, here we go.
I hate fall. I hate it. I hate it so much. And here's what I hate the most about it, is that it's still summer. It's September. We are recording this on September 1st. And everyone is talking about fall. Everyone's been talking about fall for like 2 weeks now because all the pumpkin spice things at Dunkin' and Starbucks and everywhere, everyone's putting all their stuff out. Fall is terrible. It's winter's cousin. That's my whole reason why. Because it warms you up till you meet the person that keeps you inside. And I hate fall more this year because all it does is just like let you know that, all right, it's going to get darker. We're going to be inside. We're already inside. It's going to get colder. Oh, we're already inside. I hate fall. Fall sucks. I want you guys to tell me how I could like it, but I fucking hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate pumpkins. I've carved a pumpkin one time, and the one time that I did carve a pumpkin, that girl afterwards told me that she was like, I still like my ex-boyfriend. There's another, she's like, I still like my ex-boyfriend.
There it is.
There's another reason why I hate fall. It's because the one time I did a pumpkin thing to impress a girl, she dissed me right after. I hate fall. Fall's terrible. It's the worst. What just happened?
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
I had a screaming baby in the other room, so I muted myself for a second. I don't know.
No, we need that.
Okay. I don't know how we can help you overcome the trauma that you've experienced during fall. But you live in a place where fall isn't real. So why are you so angry?
Still gets dark. There are still leaves. I hate
Do the leaves change in LA?
It's hard to find a tree that changes. It's really hard to find a tree. But when you see it, you step in it.
You just get a little bit more.
I hate it.
Yeah, they just get sad.
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say too, is I know that the weather can't be that drastic. Like fall, like pre-fall, early fall, because you're right. We actually technically still in summer for like 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, September 1st, welcome to pumpkin season, ladies and gentlemen. We had that announcement a couple of weeks ago, the early exception into pumpkin season. You don't have to wait for Labor Day. Get it going now. But that pre-fall, like shorts, sweatshirt at night, that's primetime wardrobe right there. I'm a big fan of the sweatshirt in shorts weather. You're asking the wrong person because I love everything pumpkin. we start to get into like the holiday season. You actually can look forward to like, do you look forward to Labor Day? Like, no, not really. Like Halloween's an actual holiday we can look forward to, and that's a fall holiday. Thanksgiving is a fall holiday, also ones that we can look forward to. There are momentous occasions throughout the fall. Football is back in a normal year. Saturdays are spent outside. Campfire action. I'm glad we got to the root of the problem here with your pumpkin ex-girlfriend situation, because I think it's still stemming. I think it is.
No,
but
that's not it. Fall is just literally terrible because it starts to rain in the fall, right? So it doesn't rain that much here, but there's a chance of it actually happening. You may wake up, go on your balcony, and it's cold outside. I'm not a fan of that. And I wasn't a fan of that when I lived on the East Coast, where I've lived most of my life. I never liked fall. It's just rain, like standing outside rainy football games, because we used to have to do a lot of Saturday events. Saturdays cold, Saturdays rainy, fall. Fall gets you ready for the awfulness of winter. That's why it's literally the worst season.
So I'm fully with Dan on this. I'm not gonna declare my love for pumpkin spice or anything like that, but I love fall. A big reason to that is because of football. But there's only really 2 months that suck out of the year, and they're January and February. So get over it.
No.
Those holidays don't do anything for you?
No, because Labor Day I love. That's why it's crazy that you said Labor Day no one looks forward to. I love Labor Day because Labor Day is like the last time that you get to before living out here, that you get to have fun outside. People's pools are still open that last weekend. That's why I love Labor Day. And then, school stuff. School's terrible. I've always hated school. So that's another reason why I've always hated fall. And just seeing kids get ready, like seeing kids back to school pictures, just like it makes me feel like I'm going back to school. Like I get,
like with you there, like I get angry when I see back to school commercials in like the last week of July. Like that angers me still. Like, what are you doing? Get this off here. You're making me mad. You're pissing me off, and I'm not in school.
Yeah.
But
how about this, Dan? Because you're friend to the grocery biz. What's the deal with already having Halloween candy out?
Now, that's usually against protocol from my grocery life and where I come from. It is usually, for a while, it wasn't accessible until Labor Day. Like you couldn't get it any earlier than Labor Day, which that should still hold in place. I don't want to see Halloween candy out before Labor Day, and I have for probably 2, maybe even 3 weeks. Halloween candy has been out that
it's
early.
Already out around here, and it totally caught me off guard.
It's just a reason for people to grab it and then eat it before Halloween and then have to buy it again. Yes. That's all that they're getting out of it. Now, I like Halloween Oreos, pumpkin spice, all that stuff. Bring it on. I was just swiping in the grocery store the other day. My fiance wasn't even looking, and I was just like, she'd come back, she'd be like, "What's all this?" I'd be like, "It's pumpkin season." Like she should know by now. But all that stuff is great. Saturdays, give me like a 70-degree day, a little bit of a cool breeze. Again, sweatshirt, shorts, all about that.
70, high of 70, low of 50 is the best weather you can have.
Fall activities, all about fall activities, campfires at night, because then you're not sweating around it like you do during the summer. I'm all for it. I hate the fact that the days get shorter. I am with you there. I think daylight savings should be just like adjusted where it's along the longest day and the sun sets late all throughout the year. But I'm a big fan of fall. I don't like what it eventually ends up with winter. So I'll give you that, but I don't need to worry about that till December. I'm good for a couple of months of fall. Give me some fall.
Fall's trash. I hate it. But
wow,
I just wanted to get that out.
It goes deep.
I hope you guys enjoy your fall, like enjoy your season. I don't want to like make you guys not like your season. Enjoy your season. Enjoy it.
Nothing pumpkin spice for you. Nothing at all.
It's just trash.
Didi, I think you and Siobhan need to go carve a pumpkin together so you can get over some of this PTSD.
Yeah, there it is.
No. Here's the reason why. I wish I wouldn't have said that. I hope that for some reason she doesn't listen to this podcast. But
we'll make sure she does.
Great person. But anyways, no, the reason why I don't want to is because it's gross. It's disgusting. Pulling out the guts of the pumpkin and all that stuff, it's just gross. It's messy. I don't like messy stuff. I'm not good at drawing or anything, so trying to make a pumpkin look like something is just not my thing. Like I don't like arts and crafts. So no, and it's the reason why, like, the only reason I liked Halloween back in the day is because, like, you would go out for, like, I didn't like Halloween when I was growing up. I stopped dressing up when I was in 3rd grade. Then I started dressing up again because you kind of can't get girls if you're not dressed up in something. So
fair.
That's why I wore a Mighty Ducks t-shirt for like 6 years in a row.
That's right.
Because that's the minimal. I had to do the minimal to dress up. So no, those holidays don't get me. No, they don't get me going.
What about as your daughter and future child get a little bit older and they want to carve a pumpkin? You're going to be all in on that, and you're going to rediscover it. You're going to have to get over the gross.
No, the biggest kick. No, the biggest kick in the dick is that I have 2 kids born in October.
Right.
So it's just the biggest. So funny, It's great. I hate fall, but both my children, they'll have birthdays in October.
Dude, fall's great.
Fall's great. Yeah, I love fall.
No. The only thing that's good about it is football. And I will let Chris go into this next topic about shortening sports. What's up, man?
So, yeah, this topic came up this week about potentially or just trying to see if you would be in favor of shortening baseball games to 7 innings. They're 9 innings normally. This year, there's been a lot of doubleheaders because of the shortened season. They've had to shorten games that are part of doubleheaders to 7 innings. So people started wondering, should we just do this normally? And we have all done some groupthink on this podcast periodically and talked about how awful baseball is. So I feel like it's probably a resounding yes from this group that baseball should be shortened to 7 or fewer innings.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I figured we would be all in on that one, but it made me wonder, are there other things that we would want to change about other sports? So you could shorten other sports or make other rule changes. And we could go through each sport, football, hockey, baseball, basketball, if you want, and see what you guys think, if there's anything that you would change. So anything for football?
For football, I would change a lot. Take away field goals. Like, take away the goalposts. Like, they should all be retractable goalposts. Take them down unless somebody wants to kick a 56-plus yard field goal, because those are exciting. I guess in college, it's like 40 or something, but like just depending on what team you're watching, because college field goals can be exciting.
College kickers,
once you get past 40 yards, college kickers those are a good time. But if we're talking NFL, it's like the kickers are so good, it's boring. And then coaches like coach around kicking field goals. And I think that makes the game so boring. You have all these great athletes on the field and they're going to play to kick a field goal from like the 10. And I'm like, why am I watching this game if that's what we're going to do? So I say you take away the goalposts and they play for 4 downs unless they're going to kick from 56 yards or more out. That's my big rule change.
I'm in favor of that. I think both professional and college football need to be shorter, especially as much as I love them both. College football games are way too long. Like 3.5 hours is too long. The stoppages for first down, that has to go away. The clock has to run more. When a player goes out of bounds, you've got the clock stop, and then it's got to start running again outside of 2 minutes. I think the things that the NFL has done a little bit to try to speed up the game, college football has to embrace a little bit more, but both of them, I think, have to speed up. They just take way too long. Like 3 hours is about as long as a football game should go. Anything over that, it's just too long, because I want to watch more football, right? But when you're spending 3.5 hours on a game, especially if you're at a game, that's an all day activity, and fall nights are coming up and I want to do fall night things after a football game. So I think it needs to be sped up. You talked about the field goals. I think you're right. Field goals in college after like longer than 40 yards are exciting, but the hashes being wider in college football makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Just stop that. Just make them narrow like the NFL is as well. I think that needs to be a big change to, I don't know, make it a little bit more realistic. If anything, flip them. I don't care. Flip them. Make them wider in the NFL.
Yeah, I think you should do that in the NFL. Make them wider, make it harder. Another one I had for football was just like, why is there a penalty against having like why is there an ineligible man downfield? Like why can't your center go out and catch a pass? Who cares? Why
Yeah.
can't you do that? More fat guy
Also,
touchdowns. That's what I
that's a
want.
good one. That's a good one. Also, I think you should get 3 timeouts for the entire game. You don't get 3 each half. Give me 3 the entire game. Use them better. You had months, weeks, and even more days to prepare for that game. And if you need to stop the clock 6 times because you can't figure something out right then, that's on you. You get 3 and that's it.
That's a really good one, because I hate that they get so many timeouts when all you do in football is talk. You
Right.
huddle up, like you get time between each play. You know what I mean? And like hockey and basketball, you don't get that.
Yeah.
You know, the turnover, you're going down the other field. There's a turnover in football, the game stops for 5 minutes. Like, what were you doing?
Yep.
What do you need to do timeout for? There's like no momentum in football like that. Like everything doesn't change. Yeah, I'm full with you on that. Another one with football is I hate that you can end a game with like real time left on the clock just because a team doesn't have timeouts. I think that the clock should stop with 2 minutes left every time. So then you have to run plays. Like you have to run the clock out. Like physically, you can't just, take 2 steps back and kneel and then like a minute and 59 seconds of the game just goes. And it's like you won by a touchdown. Like that's real time in a game. They could just make the game more exciting. And I get the arguments of that, like saying, oh, well, you fought for 60 minutes, whatever. But it just sucks when you see a game, just end like that when you could have actually seen some real action. Whether it been the team just getting like 3 first downs and it's over. But, I'd rather see more action than the victory formation with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, kneeling sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So how about hockey? One that I had for hockey was, I don't understand why guys can't kick pucks into the net or like bat them in with their hand. I don't think you should be able to grab it and throw it. But like, if you're coordinated enough to be on a sheet of ice and be able to kick a puck in, who cares? Do it. Let them do it.
Yeah, I love that one. And it's not going any faster than it would off their stick. It's going slower. So if that's on the goaltender, if he can't make that type of reaction, that's a really good one. I like that.
I like that too, because even the way that like what people don't understand is like just hockey players are so freaking good and know where it's going. And it's like, I feel like Sidney Crosby could like literally ricochet it off of somebody's skate. And that was actually him shooting it. This is not an accident. This is him like, no, that's open. I can do this. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? I don't see the problem.
I feel like we've already, Dan, do you have any others for hockey?
I think hockey's actually done a pretty good job in the last couple of years in adjusting some of the rules, the way that icing gets called, taking away things like the 2-line pass, which was the dumbest thing in the history of that sport. But I think they've done actually a pretty decent job in adjusting the rules to make it more watchable. The games are much quicker, which is enjoyable as well. I think we've talked about the game presentation of all sports, and I think hockey can do better, and they're kind of being forced into ways maybe this year to be able to do that, to enhance. Everybody says hockey's hard to follow. If you're not a diehard hockey fan, it's hard to follow while watching on TV. So I think there's enhancement that they can do in like game production. But the only other thing I could think of is maybe limiting the size of goaltender pads. And that's only because goalies are getting bigger now, right? 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". These guys are getting huge. So you put those pads on them that were regulation 15 years ago, now looks ridiculous because that they have to fit these huge guys. So maybe slimming those down a little bit so we can get a little bit more offense in the game.
Maybe bring back the glow puck too. Maybe do that. I think we've talked enough about baseball in the past. So in the effort of time, we would just change most of it.
Yeah, the season needs shortened too. The season and the games. Both.
Season needs shortened. And honestly, there should be a rule in baseball that, because I covered a lot of baseball, sat in press boxes a lot, and it's just like, if you can see where a game's going, especially when you're playing somebody like the Pirates who, pretty much suck all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like after 4 innings, I feel like the umps should have an option just to be like, all right, we're done here. This was fun. Let's have a good one. I really think so. Because in baseball, a lot of them are just like, this is happening. You know what's going on, and we're just sitting there bored for 9 innings for no reason. I feel like in the 6th inning, they should just be able to like, okay, all right, everybody, go home. We're done here. Pirates lost 4-0.
Well, they do that in boxing, right? Like if one guy's just getting the shit kicked out of him, they can call it.
Yeah, they can be like, he's not fighting anymore. And it's like, yeah, after the Pirates are down 4-0 in the first, we know it's over. We know it's done. Yeah. Like, just, they're not fighting anymore. Call it.
And look how exciting this shortened season and shortened games have turned out to be. Like the Slam Diego Padres that nobody would think would even make the playoffs are going to be like in contention for the World Series. They made all these trades at the trade deadline. They're the most exciting team in baseball right now. It's not enough for me to watch it, but it's enough for me to at least pay attention to them. And it's exciting that these teams that you thought were going to get the top maybe necessarily aren't, and other teams are being more competitive and they're making moves. They're like, yeah, so what? It's a shortened season. The World Series is still going to count if we win it. So there's proof in the pudding right there that I think it could work.
Last one is basketball, and I will go with this one and say I want them to raise the hoop. You're 7 feet tall. Most of you are between 6'8" and 7 feet. I'm not impressed that you can dunk anymore because you barely have to jump. I want to make it a little more difficult.
Okay.
And these teams are scoring 150 points a game. Like, we have to do something. We have to make it more challenging.
The only problem with that is
there's no problem. There's no
shooting of the game is the problem. The shooting is the problem. You have to change.
I know. Let's separate the men from the boys here and see who can really adjust to it. Remember they used to do those celebrity games during like the NBA All-Star
Rock
weekend?
And Jock, yeah.
And they would have like the higher goals and you made more points if you shot higher. Let's do that.
Wow.
Oh, what I want to end, what I love to end in basketball is just like all of the fouling that goes on, especially at the end of college basketball games. And when the game's close and you're trying to extend the game, I want people to get kicked out for that. Yeah. That's all. I really just want people just to get kicked out of the game for that, because I just feel like it extends the game, and I get the strategy part of it, but like nobody wants to watch people shoot foul shots all night.
Right.
Nobody wants that. So
yeah, I don't know how you limit that where
you can.
Like, do you, like in the NBA, do you make it 5 fouls before you're out like college is, and then you reduce it in college? Or maybe the bonus is like something even worse. Like there's a more opportunity for them to score more points, and you're just like, this isn't worth it. This isn't worth it. I'm not shooting free throws anymore. Maybe that's what it is, like a bigger threat into the bonus. Once you get into bonus territory, it's just like they're just getting points or something like that. But I think maybe even they've talked about this, extending the 3-point line, right? But I think not only extending the 3-point line, I think you need to have a 4-point line. I think at half court or right inside a half court, give me a 4-point line. I want to see some people chucking some shots up, because Steph Curry is going to have himself a field day out there. And that could be interesting, because those dudes can make it. Those shots are ridiculous. And the fact that they're good for only 3 when they're 15, 18 feet behind the line is absolutely crazy. But that was the biggest one I had too, was somehow being able to cut down on the fouling, because of, you can go through a game quickly, and then those last 2 to 3 minutes can take half of an hour, and that's just crazy. So
yeah, being
able to cut back on that, I think would help the game a lot.
Luka Doncic is hitting threes from like the Black Lives Matter logo. He should get more than 3 points for that.
You got to get a bonus there. You got to get something. Yeah, give him more points.
Yeah. And just like Dame Lillard pulling, like the game that they beat the Lakers in that series, like he's pulling up from the logo. Pulling up from the logo. There's no heave. It's just like, no, this is where I'm shooting from. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous what guys can, what those guys can do now from deep. But yeah, this was good. This was a very brunchy conversation.
It was.
Like this was very brunchy right here.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys,
we need the people to hit us up to give us their opinions. What would you do to change or shorten or better any of these sports at Brunch Breakdown?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like this one. All right, guys, what we're listening to, let's get it started with a VMAs. Dan, kick it.
So, I want to talk about the VMAs because they just happened this past Sunday. Basically on every network that is on cable television, they just completely took over cable, which I loved, because what else are you going to be watching on Sunday? We'll ask Chris that question because I don't believe he did. But it was really interesting because they weren't telling us anything going into these VMAs. They said live. They're talking about live performances, appearances. And everybody was wondering, how are they going to do this? There's not details of anything. They weren't giving us anything. So that was enough of a reason to tune in. And I thought the presentation was really good, actually. I think MTV did an awesome job, and they made everybody else look kind of ridiculous that have put together any sort of simulated live feeling type of event, whether it's with virtual fans or, plugged in sound, whatever it might be. They did a really nice job not making people at home feel stupid and also making it feel very real. The presentation, how it was done, basically in a studio with green screens surrounding it, but it looked good. I think it looked good. The sound quality made it sound like there were actually people there, so that they had virtual fans or whatever. And they even when they first opened the show, and you could see people kind of like doing the fans on top of buildings. I was like, wait a minute, is that real? Because the way that they did it, where there wasn't a lot of light around it, it had me tricked for a second there. But I thought everything was really well thought out, produced. Naturally, it wasn't all live. All of the performances were great, were really well produced as well. I think it was shortened this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's usually maybe a 3-hour show. It was a 2-hour show. They didn't give away a ton of awards, but I think with what they were limited with and everything, the presentation of the VMAs was the best type of live action ceremony presentation that I've seen this year with what you were limited to be able to do.
Yeah, because it felt like an award show. It looked like an award show. It wasn't a bunch of virtual stuff. It was like everybody actually were, whenever they filmed it, but they were in the same place. It was cohesive. It made it feel like you were actually watching an award show, even though there are no fans. I thought the fake crowd noise, I'm here and there with the crowds cheering. It's sometimes a little weird to me, but yeah, I thought it was really well done. The BET Awards this past summer, this couple months ago, they did theirs virtually too, but it felt like everything was a music video. And like the host was in her house. So it was just weird. But like, I thought that was like overproduced. And I thought this at least looked like the performances. They shot them like they were shooting a performance on stage, not like they were shooting like this music video, So I thought that was cool. Yeah. And there were like mess ups in there too. So that was like, kind of decent.
Yeah, it did. It felt very, very real. It was the realest thing that, been able to an actual award show, like you said, I think in quite some time. So I think the fact that they didn't give a whole lot of that away early on was smart, and the entire production of it was good. The performances I thought were really good. I think I'm not like thrilled at the awards that they were giving away that night. Like, I bitch about this every year, how like the rock and alternative categories are just like completely ignored. And I don't understand it. Like, we're giving away like best K-pop and best Latin artists like in the show. And I get it. Music is global and they're trying to reach that audience more. But it's like, and don't tell me like, oh, well, that's because those artists were there. Well, unfortunately, the artist that won best alternative was Machine Gun Kelly, and he was there. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse either. But I think they need to do a little bit better of a job with the awards that they give out. There's some cool new awards that they did this year. Gaga cleaned house, by the way. Deservedly show. So it was completely the Lady Gaga show, and she did her performance was amazing, bringing Ariana Grande out, and she took home a bunch of awards, including the Tricon Awards. So it was a pretty cool night. It was nice to feel a little bit of sense of normalcy and not another award show that had to be canceled this year.
Yeah, it felt that's one of the things. It did feel like it's end of summer, VMAs are on, and it didn't feel fake. It felt weird. It felt like things were actually happening. So it felt normal. Yeah, I like that. With football coming and stuff, things are starting to feel like it's supposed to a little bit.
We'll see. A little bit of sense of that.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, into what we're listening to, guys. Ice Cream, Blackpink, Selena Gomez. That's definitely going on the list this week. Chris, we made you watch the video for homework. What are your thoughts?
So the last Blackpink song you made me listen to was in a different language, and I didn't like. I didn't know how to review it.
Yeah.
or like what I was supposed to get out of it. This one is in English and it's very catchy.
Nice.
I don't hate, like, that's the thing. I don't even know that I like hated the last one. I just didn't know what the hell was going on.
Did you listen to Dynamite by BTS on last week's playlist?
Yes, and that's on my playlist review. That's one of my favorite ones from this past week.
Oh yeah, the playlist review. I love that. I love we've missed the Chris Gates playlist review.
Yeah.
Tell us what you thought. Tell us what you thought of last week before we get into this week.
Yeah, so Dynamite was, I mean, another one. It's super catchy. I thought it was really good. I obviously enjoyed the Bryce Vine tracks. Didi and I both put some of his music on there, so that was up there for me. And then the other one I had was it's Lil Zell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just another fun song, man. I just enjoyed it. So those are the three artists that kind of stuck out to me from this past week. I still need to listen. I need to. It's shoot. I'm blanking on it now. The Killers, right? Yeah. I need to listen to that whole album because I listened to the one song, but I feel like that's a band that I need to like actually go and listen to that album before I like make an opinion on it. But
that's a good call because it is a very diverse album, and I think it's incredible and it's worth listening to start to finish. So good call on that one.
But yeah, I like this Blackpink song, and feel free to send more to me if you want me to review them
on the playlist.
Oh, we will. Chris Gates is gonna have a K-pop blog, so cannot wait. He's gonna be obsessed with it by the end of this. But yeah, I love the ice cream song. I'm a huge fan of Blackpink, so I'm happy that this song. I was nervous with Selena Gomez being in it. I was really nervous. I was like, but you know, Selena's having a big year. She's kind of everywhere right now. So her cooking show on HBO Max is great too. She's everywhere. I don't know. So. All right. So, Dan, what are you listening to?
Band that I mentioned earlier in the podcast, one of my favorite bands ever, and especially right now, Paris, or as Chris likes to refer to them as, Purvis, because of the V. Yes. But even amongst the weird news of kicking one of the members out of the band, they released their third, I believe, studio album last week called "Use Me," and it's different. It's a turn away from their older sound, which was kind of a darker alternative rock, maybe alternative pop, even type of sound with their older music. But Lynn Gunn, the lead singer, really has taken over as the leader of this band, and this was entirely her project, and they've embraced her for that, and they've had to kind of push her to the forefront and be like, this is your music, this is your thing, you have developed this project. So it's different. There's a lot more electro type of sound to it. It's closer to the pop category than it is alternative. Still have that, deeper voice and vocals to it, and lyrics are still there, but it's a different turn, and I'm really, really excited for it. The album is fantastic. Like I said, it's called Use Me. The tracks I'll put in the playlist this week, probably Stay Gold. Dead Weight is really good. Hallucinations came out earlier this summer as one of the tracks leading up to it. So really, really happy to have New Paris back.
Chris, what are you listening to?
Yeah, so the first one I'm going to put on the playlist, Neck Deep is a band I'm a really big fan of. They have a new album, All Distortions Are Intentional is what it's called. And I'm going to put a couple songs on the playlist from that. Their one track, it's called Sick Joke. And there's a quote in the song, I guess just the theme of the song is like, sometimes I wonder if life is just a sick joke. And I think that is a quote that is kind of can hit home for a lot of people in regards to the way 2020 has played out. So that I'm going to put Telling Stories on there as well. I've been through the album a couple times and I'm a pretty big fan of it. So that's my first one for this week.
Nice. I got Corday and Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch has had an insane year. Well, him and Corday have this song called Gifted that I absolutely love. And I think we just lost Dan.
Apparently Dan doesn't love it because he's gone.
Yeah, he does not love it. He left us. But anyways, Corday and Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch had a huge year with a bunch of different songs, and Gifted is another one that I think is going to be huge because the sound of it is so cool. It's like this song just was on a playlist and it just kind of smacked me in the face because they just kind of trade lines throughout this whole song. And at times you're just like, whoa, you're just like, it's like they're just going back and forth. And it's an amazing song. It's got a cool message about, getting to the height, being gifted is what the song is about, and just like having success and, helping out people and stuff. But yeah, Corday and Roddy Ricch, Gifted. It's a really, really good song.
Nice. You've had Roddy Ricch on the playlist at least once before, right?
Oh yeah. A couple times. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, weirdly enough, I'm still here in the audio as long as you can still hear me. I don't know why I disappeared on the video.
It's all good, Dan.
But my next one up is going to be from another artist that I'm a huge fan of. Not super well known. She's an independent artist, does everything herself. Verite. She's just really, really fantastic. And she had a song came out last week called Younger Women. It's kind of a heartbreak song. So, hey, there we go.
There he is.
There's softer vocals to start things off and an intense kind of like funk bass beat that drives through the chorus. And then she kind of just lets loose in the bridge and she really kind of lets it all out. So you kind of get that heartbreak feel and the emotion she put into this song. So it's a new era and kind of new sign of things to come for her based on what she's been saying on her social media, a lot of it relationship based. So really excited for new Verite. We'll have Younger Women on the list this week.
Cool. My second one is from Zach Brown Band. They released a song called You and Islands about a month ago. And it's just I don't know, it's just a really easy listen. It's a fun listen. And it was recorded and produced and released in quarantine. And it speaks to quarantine and basically talks about wanting to be on an island in a much better place than a lot of us are just being cooped up inside. So that's another one I'm going to put on the playlist this week.
I like it. All right. Calvin Harris and The Weeknd, Over Now. That song is the smoothest breakup song I've ever listened to in my life. Because when you're listening to the song, because it's a Calvin Harris led song. So it's a lot of it is about the production, but like you can listen to this song and not know, and The Weeknd's voice is so just, it's just so smooth on this that you don't know that you're listening to a breakup song. Because once you listen to the song again and again, you're like, wait, oh, it's like he's literally sledding a girl down easy. He's like, nope, it's done. We're done. This is like the breakup song that you write like right before you guys hook up one last time. You've been broken up for months. Maybe you call each other, maybe you hit the text and you're like, this is a really bad idea. Like nothing's changing. Like I'm not right for you. You're not right for me. But he says it so smooth. And you're just like, man, this is a great song. So Over Now, Calvin Harris, The Weeknd, this is the perfect, I'm going to hook up with that person one last time before I never see them again breakup song.
Nice.
It's perfect. Over Now.
I'm going to go with another artist that maybe not very many people have heard of. Teddy Swims released a song called Broke. Yeah. Released a song called Broke last week, and he's very multi-genre in terms of his sound. It's kind of hip-hop based, but there's funk, there's jazz. If you check out his Spotify page, there's a lot of covers, and they're pretty wild from some very popular songs. You wouldn't even recognize them aside from just the lyrics and what he's done. If he pulled back, he's slower. He's got an incredible vocal range that's kind of, reminds me of kind of Nathaniel Rateliff a little bit, where he's kind of just like a bigger dude that has a huge voice and a huge range. So Broke by Teddy Swims is a jam, and you're gonna be bumping out to this one this week.
I just looked up Teddy Swims on Apple Music, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know what you expected Teddy Swims to look like, but this is not what I expected Teddy Swims to look like.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
And so is his voice. It's incredible. Yeah,
I'm excited to check it out, Dan, because I me and you have the same. I like a lot of music to listen to, but that was just very surprising when I saw a picture of Teddy Swims.
Right.
Teddy Swims reminds you to not judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, my last one is the retro replacement for this week, guys. And this is going to be the second appearance by Ray J on our playlist.
Wow.
This week, he's going to be joined by the New Boys, and they're going to be singing Tie Me Down.
Yes.
So enjoy that this week. That was one of my favorite songs in like 2009. And it'll be good.
Yes. Ray J made an appearance on Brandy and Monica did a versus battle last night, and Ray J made an appearance, just, came in and hugged Brandy and said hello. But yeah, it was nice to see Ray J, know? Yeah, it's nice to see Ray J. I want to pick one more. PJ Panda, Healthy. I don't know if you guys know about PJ Panda, but PJ Panda
does he know Teddy Swims?
He might. PJ Panda, and I don't want to say much about this because I really just want you to listen to it. So I'm not going to say anything, but PJ Panda, Healthy. That's it. Done.
All right. I respect that. Chris's live, I can't wait for Chris's live review of that next week. That's really where where it comes out, the raw review from Chris Gates.
Oh, is that it? We're good?
That's it. That's the playlist. Another good one.
Oh, and that's the playlist. Well, guys, this has been fun.
It has been. We covered a lot of topics here this week. I think, we're trying to, a lot of it is changing for the good, right? It was helping kids out of North Dakota. It was changing sports. We're trying to give people new music to listen to and experience. So we're just here to help the people, man.
Yeah. Fall's still trash, but tell them where they can listen to the Brunch Breakdown.
Yes, you can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, we're on as well, SoundCloud. Again, anywhere that you find a podcast, you can find the Brunch Breakdown. And don't forget, you can find the full video episodes of the podcast going up on our Facebook page and YouTube pages. Those go up the same day that the audio is released as well. So don't forget to check those out. Like us on all the social media as well. We're on Instagram, we are on Twitter, and we are on Facebook.
Love it. Well, have a happy Labor Day, and we will see you guys at the table for more brunch next week. Peace.